Welcome back to Primetime News, and a special welcome if you're watching online at onespotmedia.com. We begin with news that a major investigation is underway following the brutal slaying of an elderly woman and her two underage grandchildren in Tryall Heights, St. Catherine. A heavy police presence remains in the area. The lawmen are describing the incident as a new low they're promising to make every effort to erase. Just 24 hours after residents in Tryall Heights, St. Catherine learnt of the murders of three of their most vulnerable, a senior citizen and children, the community is silent and tense. Hours earlier, the cops were in the community gathering evidence at the crime scene. For Deputy Police Commissioner in charge of crime, Fitz Bailey, this level of savagery is indicative of the callousness of the criminals in society.
And when one can unleash such brutal act on the elderly and children, I think it speaks to the fact that we have failed as a society, and I don't think we can go any further than this. I think we have reduced ourselves to the lowest.
Residents who spoke with our news team off camera told of the mayhem as they heard a barrage of gunfire. They say shots were also fired as the apparent getaway vehicle sped out of the area, sending persons scampering for cover. One man showed us his injuries as he scampered in fear of losing his life. Since the incident, there has been speculation swirling on what may have led to the murders. While DCP Bailey said nothing about a possible motive at the time, he is adamant that the killings have their full attention.
It is unfortunate, and it's early days, but we will use all our resources that we have to get to the bottom of it.
As the police carry out their investigations, residents are troubled and traumatized, with some seeming to be ready to leave the area out of fear. However, DCP Bailey is seeking to provide some reassurance amidst their desperation.
We will ensure that adequate police are in the space. The area commander will ensure that the community is properly policed, and to reassure the citizen. I think that's very important, that we provide some reassurance to the citizen whilst we do our investigations.
Meanwhile, the incident has sparked renewed calls for the government to establish an effective crime-fighting plan. Shane Masters has the details in this report.
A community in mourning after an 82-year-old woman and her two grandchildren were gunned down Sunday afternoon in Tryall Heights, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. TVJ News understands that the children were 10 and 6 years old. The grief-stricken residents recall how the incident unfolded.
We just hear gunshot. That's all we hear when we see we hear one vehicle speed out of the place and bus shut down the road. And then when the road come over here, we see the first little baby right there. So you can see her run, she did her run, and them drop her neck, and over here so she get shot in her back. Like a 2 shot, them give a baby.
The residents claim the area is peaceful, and this latest incident is not one that any could ever imagine. They say the children did not deserve such a brutal death.
Them tell me yard every day, I pick me here when I'm cool. Let me show you. I just comb my hair since week. Since week, I comb my hair. Since week, I comb my hair. You see? That's how close me and them be. They come over me here, them eat, them sleep, anything. Them and my nephew are closest friend.
Now, Councillor of the Lauriston Division, Keisha Lewis, is echoing the call for a more effective crime-fighting plan.
The plan needs to be thought out. We need a crime plan. We cannot, as she said, brush this aside. It cannot be a 9-day wonder. We cannot allow this peaceful community of Tryallites to be brought down like other communities, and we will stand together as a community, as the leadership of the communities, to ensure that we stop this from going on. But we have to get the support of the police force, and definitely the government needs to ensure that they put the requisite things in place to fight crime.
In the meantime, she says counseling will be provided for the family and the community. Shane Masters, TVJ News.